This is just the retro, I think. Or my.
Oh, maybe I shared the wrong link. Let me try. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Do we like give you a thumbs up when we're done?
Can you do thumbs up in here?
Just
Daniel's
manual.
talking, so I kind of assumed he's not. Are we
Yeah,
waiting
I'm
for
reading,
Daniel?
I'm reading. I'm not ready.
Okay. He's translating it in Portuguese for our audience.
Yeah. Yeah.
I suspect.
Exactly.
Gonna run and grab socks then, because my feet are cold.
I'm ready.
All right. Okay, everyone mentally get one reaction teed up so that you're not influenced by everyone else. Does that make sense, Rowan? Rowan's frowning. So like, I hate it. I have questions about this. This is the best thing since sliced bread. We want all of the unvarnished, unfiltered reactions. Starting with you, Plukas. So everyone tee that up. Starting with you, Plukas, because you were the first to react with a wow. It could mean a lot of different things.
Okay, my reactions. I think it's very provocative to kill off all the stuff that the products that we've been working on. But the thesis behind it, or the thought behind it of like, they're extremely expensive for us to do and they're not gaining traction, I definitely can agree with. So the way that you have it structured of kind of like, it's almost like hedging of like, hey, we're going to give this literally just days left to like dump out what we have, see if there's any traction on there, assume that there's not going to be, and then dive into this other thing for the week 2. I think I'm sold on that personally, although it's like hard to let go of some of the stuff I've been working on, but from strategy wise, I think it makes a lot of sense. And then I'm actually really excited. What makes it easier is like, I'm really excited about this second half of this. Like the stuff that I've been doing since our last conversation was like talking more on Reddit, talking with my friend Joe, and like just there's a bunch of AI workflows that I think like creating this recipe site, or like I think is has a lot of legs to it. I think people are very willing to share this kind of stuff, and there's a lot of interesting stuff out there to be shared. So like basically I was kind of thinking in my mind of like, hey, this is going to be like Teach Tom, like AI worth using, but like from everybody in the real world and not Jesse and Peter,
Yeah, one way to think about it is we are doubling down on AI worth using.
Yeah.
As a general like problem solution fit thesis.
Totally.
All right. What other reactions?
I'm having a hard time coming up with like my word or words for it. But I think it is daunting to give up on a like explicit consumer product to go after like a knowledge-based product. But I think the plan that you have, like of using not this week but the next 3 weeks after that to really double down on that kind of swing that we have of AI worth using makes a lot of sense.
I'm curious if this is not a consumer product. You know, it's. I mean, the ICP for AI worth using is still, I think, could be debated.
Yeah,
but
I think it is a consumer product. It's just more of like a. Well, I don't know. Maybe you're thinking about it a little differently because you do still have in there like still expanding. I'm like really curious what it like expanding like the Plow APIs and like continuing to build like the tools behind things, like what that looks like and what that means too.
I see, but you're saying we're shifting from a more traditional product to like a website catalog. Like,
yeah, well, that's
yeah,
what that was
see.
my take of like become the Upstack of or the like product hunt newsletter, you know, that people go to and trust. That was my read of it.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad model, you know. It's just digesting that, I think.
Yeah. No, I understand your point now.
Like the knowledge base is the product, not the like we're becoming. I don't know. I'm spending a lot of time on Pinterest. Like we're becoming Pinterest, not the thing that's posted on Pinterest.
Yes, right, exactly. Any other reactions?
Can I make a question? So there's a user asking, what is your vision on first principles? If you
Can you? I'm not sure I understand the question. Are they trying to?
yeah, it's open-ended.
Well, I'm not like. Are they asking what a first principle is, or thinking from first principles, or like?
I guess your vision about this strategy on using the first principles lens, I guess.
Okay, so thinking from first principles, or I would say the kind of the foundational. I try to name the foundational assumptions in the document itself, which is another way to describe a first principle. So, I believe that I continue to believe that humanity will need to understand how to use AI. And those who don't understand how to use AI will get left behind. And those who do will create a lot of wealth. And that is a problem that is going to is going to be challenging for humanity and important to solve. So, like from a first principle, I continue to believe that assumption. Not, like there's an alternative assumption that robots are going to do everything for us, and we're never going to have to do anything, and we can just like Wall-E, take cruises. If you've seen Wall-E, the movie, take cruises and like, right? But I'm rejecting that world, and I continue to believe the first world is true. I believe that when it comes to finding, or when it comes to the most useful tools and curating them, it is a Herculean and Sisyphean task to try to build all those tools ourselves. And I believe, so that's another assumption. And then I believe when it comes to playing to the strengths of the team and like doubling down on what's working, like our community building our community building efforts appear to be working somewhat, right? And like when I talk to users or when I talk to people about what we're doing, some of the highest response rates I get are about the podcast, and like being interviewed by Tom Preston Warner, and so I'd say this plan is kind of influenced by those three beliefs. And I would name adjacent to the second, like trying to build all of this being Herculean is like, that's especially true in a world where everyone can build more, right? And so there's going to be more and more things getting built. Us building things is going to be adding to that noise. And I don't think it makes sense for us to add noise to noise rather than really focus on curation and signal to noise. It's kind of doubling down on that problem, signal to noise. So those would be the three first principles I'm operating from. Here, hopefully that answer. Maybe that answers the question.
Yeah, if it doesn't, he can ask it again. I have a question.
I'm loving the engagement with our community.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, people were saying after the pivot, I'm going to share my CV.
By CD?
My CV, my curriculum.
Oh,
vitae.
CV. I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Okay, and his responses make sense. There's a lot of space to this kind of content. Just posted that comment. I have a question. Are we?
Like they want to share their CV with us, like they want to join.
Yeah, there was a comment like that.
Nice.
Like, yeah. It's not the first. Like people come and ask, "Are you guys hiring?" or stuff like that. Do we want to sell something?
We will want to sell something. Right now, we want to be a trusted source for AI that actually works.
I think I think there's opportunity, massive opportunity, as you guys know. I just feel there's a lot of people probably having an outsized influence, amount of share of people that are looking to pick up, you know, skills, tools, knowledge, to join, you know, this AI revolution. And I think the adoption curve is just going to increase exponentially. And I think if we can become, you know, a default name, you know, on everyone's lips that are, you know, offering easy access to AI tools and supporting people, onboarding people into that process, there's a kind of, I see this as a kind of like a, almost like a subscription model that starts out, it's like a freemium kind of thing where you have like a lot of like utility for absolutely for free and knowledge that reinforces it and aggregation. And then as you kind of get more complex, as you move into a higher need of complexity within your AI, like agentic workflows, that's when you start to get more curated, you know, and supported tools. I think there's a marketplace, verified marketplace quality that we can bring. That I think, you know, is exciting for me. I think.
Comment from the chat. The first human benchmark community where we manage the benchmarks on user feelings about tools and AI workflows.
Is that the new Plow tagline?
Hmm?
Is that the new Plow tagline?
I don't know. That's just a comment on the chat. It could be if we resonate with it.
Daniel, I'm curious. I feel like you had good questions from your community, but what's your take? What are your thoughts?
A challenge that I have is, if we are not, what is the signal that we get to know if what we're doing is actually valuable enough or not? So, for example, to discover if it's working or not is one metric. Is okay, is people paying or not for this? And if we do 10 different tests and one of them people actually pay, okay, let's do more of that. If our distillation of signal to noise is valuable enough, are people paying for this? And then can we scale this business? Another thing that I think is, okay, if we are monetizing or the stuff that we're doing, we can use this as a flywheel to retroalimentate the business and do more of what we're doing. So that's a challenge. Another reflection is, yes, it takes much more time to build something than we anticipate, and if the output we want from developing a product is to know if people are interested or not, why do we need to build a product in first place versus a video that explains how the product works and launch a waitlist for that product, and then we get the signal we want from building the thing without building the thing? Is another reaction.
We may sell something in the future. I think right now, when I think about how this company fails, if we have no community and we have sold nothing and we have no users, we are going to fail. if we have one of those three things, it's likely we will be able to fundraise just based on our reputations. So the question is, what of those three things is it most likely that we are going to be able to get in the next 3 months?
Are those three things written? Are those three things written down somewhere? I just want to kind of look at them.
No, I'm just ad-libbing right now.
Okay.
I'm just riffing.
Okay.
You know, but
So what
I
is
just
the
like
list
when
of
I go out
things?
to investors, if I can just have one of those three things. So it's like a community, users, or having sold something, right? Then I can fundraise. I just need one of the three. And this is basically a bet that a community of people that are interested in like genuine AI that works is the thing that we're going to focus on.
What will users be in this example?
Well, we had 2 plow users. Now we have like no plow users.
Huh?
You know, you have a couple users of my people. Like if my people had 10% week over week user growth in downloads as an open source project for 2 months.
Uh-huh. And selling something will be the same as having users. Like what would be a metric for selling something? Is selling and growing week over week, or
Yeah, I mean, there's a world where we have revenue, but we don't have like meaningful users, you know. But we have revenue growth. I don't know. You can the last two are sort of interchangeable, right? But there's a world where we are really focused on our revenue number. There's a world where we're very focused on our user number, right? Either of those, I can sell either of those stories to investors: a revenue story, a user story, or a community. Going back to like strategy, right? Like you can tell us, I can give investors a credible strategy about how we are going to take over the world, right? If I have one of those sentences in the strategy, in the story. That's good.
And so the strategy will be focused on the first one, building the community.
Yep.
Nice.
So I kind of see the community as a way for us, like the community should be the focus given the output of week 1 plan as like not a ton of traction. But I can see us also contributing to the community with these small things, like the projects like that we've been working on, but just not having that be like the main thing.
Yeah, I mean, eventually we are going to want to build something or monetize something, but the community can guide that. Yeah. I continue to be a huge believer in tooling around AI, right? let's say AI worth using becomes like a community of people getting married that are using AI, and that happens to be what we end up focusing on because like that we get a lot of engagement in there. Like we do want to, when we can smell out a niche, like find a niche, right? And invest in that niche, right? So we want to keep like that. We always want to be like paying attention to that when it happens, you know. And then there's all sorts of tooling around like AI and marriages, right? Or I mean, the obvious tooling here, which is what I'm leaving on as like the one thing we invest in, is you know, we built all these cool APIs for Plow, and I mean, I think they're really cool. Like, I personally cannot stop using Plow. Like, as much as I want to shut down Plow, I'm literally fixing bugs in Plow for the last month just because I want access to these APIs. Like, I don't really care if Plow runs on my MacBook Air or my Raspberry Pi. I'd actually prefer it runs on my Raspberry Pi, right? But like, I do want it to have access to my iMessages. I want it to have access to my iMessages, and I want to be able to iMessage it. Those are like the two things. Like the other things, like access to my Gmail, access to Slack, like I can get through other tools.
I was going to say
probably less important, but still useful, is access to files on my computer. Go ahead, Mary.
Oh, I was going to say access to Google has been helpful for me, but I don't care about Slack.
Yeah, I assume the GOG.
Yeah, but even our GOG or like our Google setup is actually like not even perfect because it doesn't include Drive. It's only email and calendar and contacts.
Yeah.
So that's a
I mean, we should. Yeah.
It can.
be great.
You know, like the family manager, like me and Abby sending in our conflicts and them getting scheduled is something that I really want, you know, and is powered by these APIs, this plumbing that I think could be useful generally. But if we can't get a community interested in like what we are sending out as far as like AI worth using podcasts and use that to like build energy around something like this tooling, I don't, you know. Yeah.
Kind of interesting because even as I was reading through or just processing through like the second half of the plan, I think it very much still requires us to be building physical, like not physical things, but like building software and testing these tools in like the building of software. So it's like, yeah, I wonder how we reconcile that. If it's all we're like just coding our own passion projects to test out these workflows and vet them, or if it's, you know, like how can I be in a voice in how to design with AI if I have nothing to design? So it's like almost like part of the work is also continuing to build things.
Yeah. I mean, what if you had like, remember like when Google first launched and you just had like an empty box that you would kind of ask a question in? I wonder if it's like as simple as like, what do you want AI to do for you today? And we build out the back end with a bunch of APIs, and we could take people wherever they want to go and deliver on whatever they need. Efforts are to trust, verify, test, require certain quality assurances of the people, whose tools we're providing. And we can use that data of what people ask for to fill gaps that we're not fulfilling with other people's products.
Yeah. Discovery, curation, installing, using, extending.
What is the signal? Do we know what we want to do after we have the community? Or is this something we don't know and we will discover after we have the community?
We'll listen to them.
Okay, so it's like first goal, build the community. Second goal, discover what the community wants. Kind of thing.
Discover useful AI, put it in front of people, listen to their reactions.
So I'm imagining like.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I'm imagining we have like we basically keep we can even have we can call it seeds or whatever, but we're creating pages for people. You can probably help them create a nice page, a nice video, screenshots, whatever, of like demonstrating some workflow that they use and they find valuable. Like I was talking to my friend Joe, he's setting up a Claude skill to help create pitch decks. Like he's a designer in a marketing company. The sales guy sends him a deck, a request for a deck, and it like breaks down into like, here's my template for my tweet, here's going to generate some images, and that gets him like 80% of the way there, and then he finesses. So it's like that would be like, if I'm understanding you correctly, like we would be helping him create a page to like demonstrate this idea that he has and like ways for people to piggyback off of it and use it. Is that kind of what you're thinking of? Or an example of?
Yep. Yeah. Every podcast should turn into one of these pages.
Yeah.
Like we need to have a how-to page for every podcast. Maybe we just call them how-tos. I don't know.
So I would argue in some sense that like we shouldn't abandon what we've done in that top half. I think we should abandon the seed strictness of like no code and like the install, how it should be installed and whatever. But it's like, I have Domo running over here. Like it's a real thing that like provides value to me. And so however I would choose to share that can be like part of this community, or like the inbox sweeper thing, right? Like these are all stupid, really small things, but like have value for me at least. So it seems like worthwhile to share.
I think there's like things we're doing on the side, and then there's like the strategy of the company, and those are two different things. Like I'm not going to come to your house and ask you to uninstall Domo, No,
but I'm saying I'm saying Domo is a good example of something that like we could be sharing on this thing.
Yeah, I don't like. I think the thesis is like it's going to be really hard for you to get users using and loving Domo, and we want to share things people use, love, and find real value from. And so, if you're able to do that with Domo on the side, then for sure, let's share it and promote it, and we're excited about it. But it's probably easier to find things people have loved and used and are genuinely useful, and like spread the word about those, and spend our time on that than and to build. That's probably a more direct way to build a community than trying to make Plow this thing people use, or Domo, or yeah.
It's my main point is that the reason I thought that one of the reasons we identified that these products weren't shipping isn't that they don't have value. It's just that the way that we were trying to distribute them became really difficult. And so if we
as
remove
a
that
seed.
as a seed, and if we remove that as a barrier, not that I want to spend a bunch of time investing in Domo, but just that like if we can if sharing is if the site's now just about sharing and not as much about the technical spec of how we do it, then these things can now have a life on this site.
Yeah, I think we should. What we kill, I think we should talk about it on like Monday after we spend this week sharing.
Great.
So,
I'm just seeing like some amazing, content around like how tools have become democratized, and now there are people organizing water purification. Well, it's probably a little ironic to mention water purification when we're talking about data center toxicity, but certain things like there's so much that we can be doing on a day-to-day level that makes this feel less abstract and about AI and more about kind of the facilitating public initiatives that support communities in the real world. There's just so much that we can spotlight by having people apply and build and giving people the ability to build. There's so many people out there building like 2 apps a week. And where are they all going? Where do they all end up? If I'm somebody who wants access to those, where do I go? I just built, my wife and I were having our first project together of building a database that we can monetize our book club. And she's got, it's got all kinds of amazing functionality looking at, lifetime value and, attendance and things like that. That's super valuable to book clubs all around the world. But where would I go if I was a book club looking to kind of systematize my book club or profit off of, create some revenue? Those are both useful, and they're amazing stories that can be told. So I check 2 major boxes.
Yeah. Okay. So we've talked about this for the better part of an hour. Thanks, Rowan. I agree with what you're saying. Let's do 2 things. So one is highlight one thing in the strategy that you think is a mistake or like you would change, and leave a comment. And then the second is I would like just a Slack message. So I've assigned owners for this week. And if your name is behind something, I would love a Slack message around like what you need from others in order to execute on launching this thing on the state. So Daniel, in this world, you are owning the My People launch. In this world, Lucas, Thursday, you're owning launching Hermes on the Raspberry Pi. That could be Domo or like the Hermes seed.
Okay.
And we'll launch it on Product Hunt, and then like we're gonna have a bunch of like, hey, this is how I used it examples.
Just to be clear, the thing I think is most cool about Domo is that it doesn't use any sort of agent. Like it just uses Claude Code in the subscription. So
no, I understand.
I'm gonna do Hermes.
Yeah.
If you want Hermes on the Pi, because I think that could be cool. I can do that and the message API, and then maybe I'll get to.
Okay, so do you think you can launch Domo on a different day? Is there a day when you can launch Domo, where you feel like Domo would be ready for launch?
But
what's that?
Yeah, I think we should. I would like to know a little bit more about what I'm committing to when we say launch, like in terms of.
I mean, like posted on Product Hunt and Reddit. We just like, yeah.
So like we would need to create like videos and all that stuff for it, and
I think of a video and like someone can go to a place like a website and like they can probably download something and actually get value out of it. Like if it's
Okay.
running on your like basically each of these should be a how-to page on Plow, like how to install my people. I'm using the word how to instead of seed, right? But like
Yeah.
the URL may be seeds.plow.co/this thing, but it's got to feel like, oh, I can go to this page and I know how to get this thing running.
I would love. I can do all three of them, and I
All
just need
three.
a
What
lot
do you mean by all three? Oh, the Plow iMessage APIs.
API and the Domo. I mean, they're all like very much working. I'm gonna need help on the video part. Like, I don't know how to show.
I'd
this
love
off.
to help with that. If you, I can help with that, Lucas. Tell me what you need. I have a prompt that we can put into your script, and then I'll also handle all the editing. So let me. All we need to do is get you recording the raw files, and then I can handle it from there.
Okay.
Like
Sweet.
the description.
Great.
I'm a little intimidated by the wedding dashboard up there just because it's just a bunch of code running in some repos and Cloud Code and Plow and like it's not in any shareable like it's
Okay.
like it's not a seed, it's not like it's just like a mess of things I've made and or vibe coded even I should say.
So for these, we can just call them launch comments, right? So ideally, are you all seeing my screen? I don't know if it needs to get promoted so that everyone can see it.
I can't see it, but I see live edits in the and
right. So these are the top line launches. And for these, we want to deliver
Can you move my launch to Thursday?
What can we launch Wednesday? What can we...
What can we launch tomorrow?
I mean, we could launch Plow tomorrow if people are willing to download and use Plow and like make sure it works.
yeah, I can. I mean, I have it running. It crashes every once in a while, but I don't know.
Really? Thought I fixed all of those.
Are you on the latest?
I think. Let me see.
Okay. All right.
Can you where do we get the latest build? Because I think one of my files is updated daily and the other one's not. So I want to make sure that that's up to date too.
Yeah. The daily update script stopped working because Apple required a terms of service agreement, but it should start working again. And honestly, the command I would use is, let's see if 971 has merged yet. Once this merges, I will send out the command. It's plow prod install auto.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just using the shipped version, I think. So I'm well behind. 0.23.
Oh yeah, that is behind. Yeah.
Can you remind me what you have to do before to make the plow prod install work? Because I don't think I ever set it up on this machine. Unless you did, but I don't think you SSH'd into this one.
Let's take that offline.
Okay.
Let me.
Yeah,
I'll get it installed on your machine. Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Okay. So we're on the same page about the deliverable, though, right? Okay. And so Rowan's owning.
I have a question. Thursday launch means Wednesday midnight or Thursday midnight?
Thursday midnight.
Okay.
Right. So we have the day to work on these things.
Yeah. Nice.
I also want to own completion of everyone's videos. Anyone who's making, I'd love to facilitate you in whatever way. If I can help you record your raw assets, or just hand me your raw assets, and I'll work on putting them into a repeatable format. And actually, I'm going to give you guys that guide today as well, just so you guys know what where we're heading to make them more uniform.
Sweet.
Okay, Rowan. Where does AI worth using? Actually, okay. I think Rowan. Let's talk about your work. I honestly think a lot of what you're doing is for weeks 2 through 4. But
yeah,
it's worth noting. I'm going to talk to all. We talked about this. I'm going to talk to all investors this week. So, like, starting next week, we should be full. Yeah. Okay. So we have 2 garage items. One me and Rowan, and then one me and Mary getting plow installed. Okay. So let's do an async stand up. It's actually, if you can send out as part of your stand up update, just send out like, hey, this is what I'm hoping to. These are the ones I'm hoping to get today for the launch. These are the things I need. Like in the blocked update, name other people, name what you need help with for your launch, right? For your item. And so, Mary, to elaborate on the comment, right? When we launched like Hermes on a Raspberry Pi, like it's just like a video. You already have like a video of the wedding dashboard or something, right? Don't you? Maybe not.
I mean, I recorded just like on my iPhone something yesterday that I was gonna.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's great. And we'll post it as a comment and share it out elsewhere, you know, kind of thing. And
yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
I have to hop off at 11:30 for an appointment. So do you want to do this real quick, or do you want? I can circle back with you this afternoon.
We'll just do it after. I actually want to talk about something else, like a design thing before that. Okay. So let's go to Gather and chat about that.
Okay.
Oh, actually, and maybe Plukas, this is connected to you, but basically, what is the user experience of the Hermes on a Raspberry Pi launch. That's what I want to talk to Mary about.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to listen in. Okay, let's go to gather.
Okay. Cool.
Thanks, everyone. Pivot
Thank you.
number 3, 2. Pivot number 3 if you count our first pivot away from camels and needles. Pivot number 3. All right, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I feel like it's
All right, take care, y'all.
Make it to the end of the week first.
Oh yeah. Maybe it's not a pivot. Maybe we're convinced otherwise. Okay, take care, y'all. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.